Does the universe test you when you quantum jump? Why is it that when you are committed to a new timeline, you are committed to being a new you, when you are focused on the reality that you want to exist in, it can almost feel like the universe is totally testing you right before you quantum jump? The universe isn't testing you, but do you know what is testing you? Your identity, your belief systems, and your vibrational frequency, which are the trifecta of things you need to shift in order to quantum jump. I'm going to talk about why these things feel so hard right before a quantum jump and how you can ease your way into that reality that you are quantum jumping to. I'm Alyssa, and I remind you that this timeline is optional. When you've decided to quantum leap to a new reality, meaning you've decided to merge with the version of you that's already living there, when you are clear on the reality you want to live in, whether that be with your soulmate, with your dream job, in a healthy, amazing body, with a new friend group, when you have decided in your mind what would be better for you, it is because there's a parallel timeline version of you already living it. When you desire something so strongly, it's because it's already existing. I've had this happen in my life so many times when I felt such a strong desire for something and I got really upset that it wasn't manifesting into my life, that I wasn't experiencing it, and it wasn't become until I became a vibrational match to those things and they came into my life that I realized the pain of not having them was because I knew that they belonged to me. There are things that belong to you in a different reality, and it is just up to you to shift your vibrational frequency, your belief systems, and your identity to match the version of you that's already living those things. You don't need to create anything, you don't need to manifest anything, you just need to become a match to the vibrational reality that a parallel timeline version of you is already living. When we're quantum jumping to a new reality, we want something new in our life and we're doing the work to get there. We are showing up like that version of us. We are shifting our beliefs. We are raising our vibration daily, and your vibration is just the feeling tone that you live in most days. It's the emotional soup that you find yourself in. So raising your vibration is a lot. It is about feeling better on that subject, but you also need to shift your beliefs and your identity. However, when you are getting ready to quantum leap to a new reality and it feels like you're close, and you are close, sometimes it can feel really hard and you feel this really hard pull, and it almost it almost seems like the universe is testing you. For example, maybe you're wanting to quantum leap to the reality where you're with your soulmate and your ex calls, or you're wanting to leave your job and start that new business and your boss offers you more money. These things happen so much when we're quantum leaping to a new reality, but it's not the universe testing us. It's you in a sense are testing yourself. You're testing yourself to the capacity of what is the identity that you are deciding to be. What are your real true beliefs about reality? What vibrational frequency are you living in? What reality are you a match for? Two of my biggest quantum leaps, one was when I left the bar industry, which I was in the bar industry for years and I had trouble getting out of it. I was doing manifestation work. I was like going on a lot of auditions. I was even trying to get hired at different bars. I couldn't seem to get out of that loop because I was such a vibrational match to the bar industry, and specifically the bars I was working at that were very low vibrational. Then I had a couple ayahuasca ceremonies and I had a chance meeting where I met someone who actually hired me to create an app in the film industry, and they offered to pay me really well. And while it wasn't like having my own TV series, it was way more in alignment with me than being in the bar every night, being around drugs and alcohol, drinking too much, all that. And what's wild is it came out of nowhere. No, it was so random how it happened. And since then, that opportunity has actually turned into way more things. It was a completely new timeline for me. I never went back to the bar industry. But I remember when I accepted the job, and also having not known this person very well, he's someone with a lot of money, self-made, but it was like a new concept. The app we were building didn't even work. We ended up not going forward with it, but like I said, this created way more opportunity for me by taking this job. But it was this kind of like, I know the bar industry. Have a general idea of how much I make every night. I would like manifest the same amount of money every night because that's what I was a match to. I knew my schedule. I knew what I was expecting. I felt safe in that shitty environment. And I remember when I took the job and I let go of the other job, like right after that, I was getting text messages from people that would come in to see me that would always tip me like really well because they just wanted to have conversations. And I felt this pull of I should just go back and see if I can get a shift for one night. I should get a shift for 2 nights. I was making enough money with the app that I fully didn't need to go back. I wasn't staying up all night. I was feeling so much better. But it was weird that every single person I'd ever known that like tipped me a lot, or like people I was friends with that were still in the bar industry, everyone kept asking me to just come back, and I was like, maybe I could just get a shift here or there, maybe just work a couple weekends. And I had to say, I don't want to be in this environment anymore. And it felt like the universe was testing me, because if I had gone back in that environment, it would have been hard to do the work I was doing during the day. These other opportunities would have never showed up because I would have stayed in the identity of a bartender and being someone that works in the bar industry and being someone that was okay being in low vibrations. So that felt like a huge test to me. I remember like struggling with myself, being like, why is it that everyone wants to give me money now? Why do they want to give me the best shifts now? Why are all these things happening when this new opportunity that I don't even know what it's going to turn into is right here? And thankfully, that opportunity catapulted me into so many other opportunities. Another example is when I got together with my husband. I knew that we were married. I had dreams in a parallel. I had dreams. I was dreaming about where I am now. I knew we were going to get married, like, even though I hadn't seen him in 15 years. It was so weird. And we like were, we were first date, we're a couple. We decide all this, and he goes out of town for like a week to go on a trip with his family. And I remember I was doing mushrooms with a friend of mine, and this was like the best relationship I'd ever been in. This was my person 100%. And I like freaked out, and I started acting bitchy. I started doing all the toxic stuff I'd done in other relationships. Like I was basically self-sabotaging myself just because he like didn't bring his phone when he went out to dinner with his family. And I'm sharing this because it was like the universe was testing me. It was like the universe was saying like, you want to be with your soulmate, or do you want to keep being in shitty relationships? Like, do you want to be the version of you that trusts this guy that was like out with his family? Do you want to be the version of you that believes that you deserve to have a good relationship? Do you want to be the version of you that has a good relationship? Or do you want to keep acting like the poor little girl that, had trauma and stuff? Like, drop the fucking identity. And that night, I had a realization. I dropped the identity. I moved in with him a month later. And it's literally, the best relationship of my whole life. And I don't even recognize myself in relationships because I quantum jumped. I also moved, a bunch of stuff happened. But when you are choosing to be a new you and you are taking the actions and the things start showing up, the opportunities start showing up because you're a vibrational match to that reality, right before, like while it's happening, right before it happens, or while it's in the middle of happening, you will get tested by your old identity. You will get tested by your old belief systems. You will get tested by your energetic frequency. It did not feel safe for me to be in such a good relationship. Like my belief systems were like, oh my God, this is actually my person. This guy is so good to me. I love him so much. I've never experienced this before. It felt like chaos only for like a couple days. My identity was like, oh my God, you're going to be one of those people that's like in a really good relationship, when I had been in a lot of toxic relationships. With the job, it was like, you're not going to work in the bar industry. Like you've worked in the bar industry since you were in your 20s. Like you're going to take this other job that's like great and kind of what you've been asking for. But my identity was still like wobbly. So when you're quantum jumping to a new reality, it often feels wobbly because, again, when you quantum jump, you don't go to sleep in your apartment, wake up the next day in your dream home. You have to become that person, and then the bridge of incidents shows up. Like the bridge of incidents for me was meeting this guy that offered me this job, and then that turned into a bunch of other stuff. Connecting with my soulmate, we're getting together, I move in, we get married. And it happened really fast. But when the bridge of incidents starts happening, if you are not sustained enough in that identity, if you don't see yourself as the version of you that can have this thing, if you don't have the vibrational frequency of it feels normal to feel good, it feels normal to have a great job, it feels normal to have great friends, it feels normal to be healthy, you're going to kick yourself back into the old reality. And it's like self-sabotage, but it's just because you're not fully aligned with that identity, with those belief systems, and with that vibrational frequency. And that's why quantum leaping is incremental shifts. When you do quantum leap and you're in the new reality, that part happens fast because it is actually a different reality. It is a reality that is existing right now that you're already living that and you're going to merge with the version of you. So it's like it is a different reality, but it happens incrementally because you have to become a match to that reality. And that's why when you feel like you're getting tested, that's really good. It's not the universe testing you. The universe isn't punishing us. It's just saying, it's like holding up a mirror and saying, do you believe in this reality or do you believe in this reality? And because you're so used to the old reality, it's easier to say, yeah, I believe that I work in the bar industry. Yeah, I believe that I'm not in the best relationships. I'm just going to stay here. But what you really want is here. And your beliefs are kind of it's like you have to ask yourself, like, do I believe I can really have what I want? Do I believe that I can be this version of me? Because that version of you is already doing it all. That version of you is you. You just have to become a match to them. And also that's why raising your vibration is so important. You have to make your dream life feel normal, meaning you have to familiarize yourself with the frequency, which is why I suggest that you multiple times a day. I do visualization with music, and that's how I got my biggest quantum jump. Was literally that was one song where I felt like I was in the relationship. I felt like I was like living where I wanted to live. I was so happy, and my relationship feels like that now. But you have to visit that reality until it becomes familiar, because then that feels normal for you, because we live in the reality that we are a vibrational match to, and that's how we are feeling. That's the vibrations we're emitting, the beliefs we're having, what we believe is possible. We can only see what we actually believe is possible, and the identity. Law of assumption. What do we assume is true for us? What do we assume is true about reality? What do we assume we can have? We live in an unlimited universe. A good friend of mine who's a big manifestation coach was just here last week, and she just made a video about delusion. And she's like literally on a billboard right now in West Hollywood, which is like amazing. Shout out Letha. Uh, what's wild is like she's talking about how it was like a delusional week, how amazing her week was, and all these things that manifested. And I've known her for about like 4 years, but she's one of the best examples of someone that I know that just believes in the unlimitedness of the universe. She like decides that she wants something and it sounds crazy to everyone else, but she believes so much. She understands that this like reality is unlimited. And that's why there's quantum versions of you doing different things, because there's all these possibilities. I mean, there's also realities that you definitely wouldn't want to be in because you have a lower vibration, you made different choices, you don't feel good. You have no interest in raising your vibration or quantum leaping. But there's unlimited possibilities for you. If you desire something, it's because another version of you lives it. So if you feel like you're getting close to your quantum leap, or maybe you're in the middle of the quantum leap, maybe you're dating the person that is your quantum leap, maybe you're about to get a job interview for that job and it starts to feel scary, you just need to double down on your identity, your belief work, and your vibrational frequency. And you have to do things to step into that identity, because when it feels like you're being tested, really what you need to do is continue acting in the new identity. You need to continue to act as if you believe what that version of you believes, because the version of you on the parallel timeline has different beliefs than you. That's why they have different experiences. They believe that life can be different for them. So when you're faced with these tests, you have to sometimes, like, I remind myself this, it's like, what would that version of me do? And the other thing that keeps coming up is letting go of things, environments, people, places, activities, foods, media that are not in alignment with that version of you. Like, I've really realized identity is when you're stepping into that next identity, a lot of it is removing things, which it will be replaced with something better. But you have to ask yourself, like, this version of me that has the career, has the guy or girl or a friend group, what am I doing that they just would not do? Because that is keeping you tied to that vibrational reality. They don't tolerate certain things that you tolerate, and those are decisions too. That's identity too. Like when I was in shitty relationships, now I'm like, oh my God, my husband and I are totally good. But if for some reason we broke up, I could never go back to shitty relationships because I don't have that identity anymore. But there was a period when that was all I could be. I maybe would meet a great guy. I met my husband a million years ago and couldn't even recognize the frequency of the good relationship because I wasn't a match to it. So you also have to release things that that version of you wouldn't have. And it might kind of feel a little painful. My cat is literally watching me do this video and it's so hilarious. You have to ask, I feel like I have an audience now. You have to get more in alignment with what type of identity they have because there's certain things that they would have released or they would never have in their reality because they're not a match to it. So if you don't know what to do, ask yourself, what does this version of me do on a day-to-day basis? What am I entertaining in my life that like is not even in their life? You think like this won't be in my life when I have this dream reality. Well, then it shouldn't be in your life now. If you desire something, there's a parallel timeline version of you that's already living it. They have different beliefs about themselves in reality. They have a different identity. They see themselves differently. They assume life to be different for them in a different way than you're assuming right now because their life is different. They have a different vibrational frequency. Their feeling tone throughout the day is different than yours on that specific subject. When you raise your feeling tone, things that are a match to feeling good show up. They feel good about career. They feel good about love. They feel good about whatever area it is for you. You only desire it so strongly because it already exists on a parallel timeline. And I've had so many experiences of this, of when the thing comes, it's like my soul relaxes and goes, oh God, I wanted this so bad. And because it belonged to me. There are things that already belong to you. Become a match to them, and you will jump to that reality where those things are yours. Remember, this timeline is optional. Much love.